Hey everyone, the numbers are in for Aqua in Panama City Beach for 2023. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. In this video, I'm going to go through the pricing trends that we saw in 2023, talk about some of the things that affected the market, and more importantly, where things may be headed in 2024. I'm hearing a lot of the same messaging from people, phone calls, meetings. Hey Craig, our HOA fees are up. Our insurance rates are up. Rental revenue was off this year. Hey, Craig, how's the new ordinance in Panama City Beach affect things? How's the new state law in Florida affecting the condo market? So there's a lot of things to talk about for owners and a lot of things for buyers to make sense of. If you think about all those things from a buyer perspective, there's a lot more for information for buyers to digest than there has been previously. So we're watching the market a lot. I want to go through some pricing with you and some trends in a second. But first, if you're thinking of selling in 2024, whether it's at Aqua or any place else you own real estate, or if you have friends or family that are thinking about selling anytime in 2024, please remember a couple of these statistics. We're starting a campaign. I believe in this stuff so much. We're going to talk a lot about it. The campaign is not finished. I'll give you a sneak peek at it. We still have a few things to fix and edit, but let me give you a preview of what we're going to send out a lot this year. Starting with this one, real estate listings that are marketed with video receive 403% more inquiries than those without. Real estate listings marketed with video receive 403% more inquiries than those without. If you're thinking about selling, again, if you have friends, family selling, you should stop right there and realize how important that is. If you're going to sell something, make sure your marketing mix includes video. And just like 15, 20 years ago, when we would say, when we started using professional photography over regular photography, remember, if you remember 20 plus years ago, agents would go in and take photos with their own camera. And we started using professional photographers to make sure everything would look that much better, especially Gulfront condos where you can really, a bad shot, you don't see the water, all that kind of stuff. Same thing's happening with video. You've got people walking around, agents going around saying, oh, look, I did a video, I put it on social media. Or you can hire a professional photographer who has a professional editor, shoot video, create something really, really nice to market and send out. A couple other statistics to remember. That's the most important, but a couple other ones. Only 37% of agents are even using video. I would tell you in our area, it's probably even lower than that, especially ones that are doing it well. It's expensive. It's real expensive, but again, 403% more inquiries. It's a good investment. 75% of home buyers consider a virtual tour to be a significant factor in their decision-making process. Video viewers remember 95% of a message compared to 10% who read text. And 51% of home shoppers use YouTube as their number one destination for research. That should read. 51% of people, YouTube is their number one destination for research. Take all those statistics now and apply it to our Gulfront condo market, whether you're selling at Aqua or anywhere Gulfront. So many of our buyers come from somewhere else. So as they research, sure, they're using Zillow and Realtor.com to get all those flat images, but YouTube's their number one, half the time, that's their number one place they go for research. And if you think about if you know much about the internet, Google and YouTube are the number one, number two search engines. Social media, the same way, they all prioritize video. So much has already been written over the last decade plus that now those places are prioritizing video in the search results because they know that we all like to consume video more. We don't want to read it if we can easily watch a video about it. So back to marketing. If you're selling something, if you're selling real estate in 2024, you have friends, family, I'm telling you, make sure they're working with someone who understands video marketing, who has a plan for video marketing. It isn't just a quick shot running through a condo. It's creating the video marketing, editing it, and then what are you doing to distribute that message to all these people who need to see it? Really important, especially if you're talking about a market that's a little bit more difficult to sell. You really need to create as much exposure for this, and it's leading to faster sales, higher sales prices. So enough of that. Let's get into some statistics. Remember, months of inventory in real estate, this is important. 5 or 6 months of inventory represents a neutral, balanced market. It's the normal pace of sales in real estate. Aqua for years now, in fact, let me adjust this to go back to 2019. Aqua for years has been one of the hottest buildings in Panama City Beach. There's always a lot of good things about Aqua. Good floor plans, nice architecture, well run, all those things. And for years, it's outperformed everybody else. This was the only time it got up to 9 months of inventory. This is right at the beginning of COVID. But for years, it's been a seller's market until this year. August, we were at 6 months of inventory, jumped to 7. It's jumped to 12. It's jumped to 13 months. It's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. I think there are a lot of good things to talk about for Aqua. Just Top Golf being announced, the Dolly Parton investment being announced, the Tootsie's investment, although that's taking it away from Aqua, is another big investment in the area. 80,000 square foot medical building that's opening right around the corner, opening this year. All those things are good. Most of those things good for tourism. However, at the moment, I think some of these other things, higher insurance rates, higher interest rates on mortgages, all those things are affecting the condo market generally too. So we're going to have to watch that. Days on market right now is hovering around 111 days. It had been pretty good up to recently, 45 days, 35 days, 26 days. That's moved up a little bit recently. Again, we're analyzing a small amount of data, so that number is going to move around quite a bit. Going through the sales, this is the most important part, I think, probably. If you're still watching, this is what I would want to know. Let's start with the 04 and 05 units, since that's first on the list. This is organized chronologically, so we'll see if we can pick up any trends throughout the year. The 2-bedroom, 2-bath units there at the 04 and 05 stack sold earlier in the year at 735, 711 and some change. That may be 725. Yeah, that's the only 3 sales of that plan. Pretty stable pricing, optimistically. This is the third one of these analysis videos I've been shooting today, and there's a couple buildings where prices have really actually moved down. And I'm curious to see if that trend is going to continue to the overall market, or this is very much going to be project by project. If we look at the 1-bedrooms in Aqua, we had this sale earlier in the year. This was an off-market seller. The owner actually wanted to sell. We were talking about selling another unit, but ended up selling this one for $675. We were thrilled with the price at the time. Since then, units have sold at $650, $660. So no one's quite attained that $675 that we pulled off, but it isn't far off of it. A couple of the other 2-bedroom plans, I think there are a couple of this floor plan that sold $800,000 for a unit in the 11 stack, $925,000 for a unit in the 11 stack. Again, differences that big of a difference can have everything to do with the condition of the unit inside. Of course, the view on that part of the building is important also. 3-bedroom units, Aqua is, at least those of us who do a lot of condo business, the 3-bedroom units in the 01, 02 stack, especially even the 03s, are some of the nicer 3-bedroom floor plans in the area. Then you talk about being close to Pier Park and all these other things, and they really, really do well. They're popular. 1403 sold for $1,065,000 early in the year. 1202 sold for $1,025,000. Another sale over $1 million at $1,090,000. 950,000 for 1902. Price maybe came down a little bit. Again, condition and all those things matter. At the moment, there are only 2 units pending. One's a 1-bedroom. I think this is interesting to note. The asking price is $629. Remember, again, condition. This one, just from the thumbnail, looks like it's not quite as nice as some of those ones that sold before. It's on a higher floor, which for some buyers matters. Also, 503 is pending. Asking price is $950,000. There are 12 units available for sale at Aqua right now. 2 1-bedroom, 2 baths, price $635 and $640. So a little lower than those sales we had earlier last year. The 04, 05 stack, asking price, this is interesting, $669, $700, $725, $735, $739. So look, A lot of sales in the low 700s, and now we've got one asking 700 and one asking 669. Interesting to pay attention to there. Back to some 3-bedroom units. One of the '09 stacks is asking 919. This is a cool unit. Unit 111 is a very cool unit. 969 for that 2-bedroom unit. And then a couple in '03 and '01 asking 1.1 million and 1179, and 201 asking 1190. A lot of competition, some signs, especially in those 1 and 2 bedrooms. Maybe the prices have settled in a little bit. Again, condition and all those things matter. So far, since the beginning of the year, I'm recording this. What's today? Today's the 9th. Since right on the 2nd, I've gotten a lot of phone calls. Things have cranked back up again after a pretty quiet December. I would say the balance at the moment is a little more supply. I've had more conversations with people talking about selling. I have a few buyers that are serious about getting something purchased before the end of rental season, or before rental season really starts. I worked with some agents this week, scheduling some showings, so it's nice to see a little more activity cranking up. Traditionally, the spring market will almost be week over week over week. It'll improve. So we're going to watch that going forward. If you aren't familiar with Mike Simonson at Altos Research, I would suggest checking him out. I'll put a link to one of his videos in the comments below. Really, really, really excellent analysis of the overall housing market. But he deals with some pricing trends and some leading indicators that kind of help us see where things are going. And encouragingly, I was very encouraged his last 2 or 3 weeks after a very pessimistic 2023. The last few weeks are showing some signs in his data, and I won't go through all of it. You should watch it. But some really interesting work and some real good reasons to be optimistic about general real estate in 2024. We've got to watch our local condo market specifically. Florida condos are dealing with some things that are a little bit different than the overall residential market. So we'll keep you updated. Make sure if you aren't already on our newsletter list, you're signed up for that. We send that out once a week on Friday mornings. It's called Friday at the Beach. A lot of information there. Certainly follow us on social. And if you are not already subscribed on YouTube, a lot of information coming about the market and things in general. So hopefully you learned a little from this. If you have any direct questions for me, 850-290-0417 is my direct line. Again, 850-290-0417. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Craig Duran at the Duran Group.